In an academic setting, one of the most important forms of bias is so-called publication bias. Now, what does this mean? It means that if you did a bunch of studies, if you undertook 10 different research projects, probably only the research that had a very decisive outcome would be published. Now, there may be different reasons for that. It may be that if the donors paying for the research don't like the outcomes of the study, they're going to put it on a shelf. They're not going to try to publish it or promote it or let anyone know about it. But it may also just be an aspect of human nature that, you want to publish a study that proves something shocking or surprising or new, that shows some very clear and decisive results, good, bad, or otherwise. And if you have a study where the results are kind of murky or conflicted, the data didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, and that may simply not get published at all. This is true in the social sciences. This is not merely the medical science. This is true, I think, even in something like philosophy, or God knows, I don't even want to get into it, but I mean, something like Buddhist philosophy, publications on Buddhism, publication bias is unbelievably strong. Unbelievably. This filters into something like a business studies context. People pay a lot of money to get an MBA, get a diploma in business school, and a lot of these business schools will bring in speakers, successful businessmen, people who started their own companies, and one after the other, maybe every week or every month, they're bringing in someone who's a former student of the business school, went on to great success, and you got to ask the question, where are the failures? The only way failure creeps into that discourse is if one of the guys who was successful talks about the failures he had leading up to his success. Where are the people who took the gamble and their business was wiped out by whatever inclement circumstances, and who are now, had to move back into their parents' home after they graduated from business school and tried to be entrepreneurs? If you just look at the rate at which even companies on the stock market get delisted, those are companies that have achieved a very, very high level of stability and success to get listed on the stock market. The rate at which they get delisted, it tells you something important about failure and the important role of, learning from failure. You can't just learn from success. You got to learn from failure in this life also. Now, I've said many times that the nature of YouTube and the vegan demi-monde within YouTube, everybody is playing a different game by different rules. So there's no common sense of what success means or of what failure means. I got here 3 examples of females on YouTube, vegans, who are, presenting some combination of what I eat in the day videos, them in bikinis, fitness videos. They're exploiting their beauty to whatever extent on Instagram. And they all have in the tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So Angelina Draper, over 50,000 subscribers. Holly Wakeham, over 140,000 subscribers. Megs Umansky, about 80,000 subscribers now. Is this success or is this failure? Well, I don't know. You got 80,000 subscribers, Megs. Your most recent video has only 3,000 viewers in 2 weeks. Holly Wakeham, over 100,000, 140,000 subscribers. Her last video has only 2,500 viewers. The one before that, about 5,000. So a very, very small percentage of the people who clicked on the subscribe button think your content is worth watching. Now, some people in this category, again, is this success or is it failure? Claire Michelle is somebody who's really taking some big risks in life because she dropped out of school. She has no job. She has no career. She has nothing going for her except for YouTube and Instagram. So on YouTube, she has now about 80,000 subscribers, and her most recent videos have about 20,000 viewers. And it's the same mix: diet, exercise, personal beauty, her in revealing clothes, that kind of content. Now, I really think, what is success and what is failure? For any of these people, if they were planning to actually earn their living by coming on YouTube, I mean, again, they're all vegans, coming on YouTube and talking about veganism, talking about their life. They're all failures. All of them. You know, it's like that old catchphrase from the seatbelts movement, you know, car safety movement. You know, there's a famous book titled "Unsafe at Any Speed." You can be a failure at any size. You can be a failure at any scale. You know, I do think that for some of us, the content of what we're sharing, whether that's content about veganism or content about our own lives, justifies the effort we're making on social media, whether we have 200 viewers per video or 2,000 or 20,000. But there's this very strange form of publication bias here on YouTube. You normally hear people when they make a lot of noise, when they have a lot of optimism about their channel, and then you don't hear about them when they just stop uploading or disappear or delete their channel entirely, right? That doesn't make any noise. You know, certain types of conflict and controversy make you pay attention to a channel briefly. And quite likely during that controversy, that channel, maybe it's briefly getting 100,000 viewers per video, and you see all this optimism. And, you know, within veganism, it's a very specific kind of optimism. It's optimism that you can earn your living spreading the vegan message. You can make lifestyle activism your full-time job. And that very often involves bikinis and, you know, what I eat in a day videos, showing off cuisine you're cooking and so on. This is black beans, Job's tears, and mushrooms. I guess you'd call these shiitake mushrooms, by the way. No sauce, just the ingredients put in a pressure cooker. Anyway, you know, there was definitely this very clear pattern of come on camera, be yourself, get the adoration of millions of people, start earning $100,000 a year, save the planet, save the animals. It's this very compelling package of, you know, personal ego-driven goals, fame, money, etc. And, you know, just people appreciating you for your beauty, and those humanitarian and political goals. So it's really all to say in this video. I now know I've been in this game long enough. I can think of examples of channels where I really valued their content, whether it was their content about veganism in a strict sense, or if it was their content just talking about their lives. Because, you know, I like a mix of both. I like real talk. And, you know, I don't know, some of those people, I wish they hadn't quit, even if they were only reaching 200 viewers or 500 viewers, whatever it was. And there are all kinds of other people who are reaching 20,000 viewers, but to me, their content isn't just garbage. Their content creation is obviously having a really negative impact on their lives. It's bringing them into a very short-term way of thinking where they're dropping out of school and quitting their job and not building any kind of career because they believe they're going to be in the tiny minority of people like Vegan Gains who actually pay their rent with their YouTube income. That's it, man. Unsafe at any speed. Failure on social media can happen at any size.